vote. All the other rights are meaningless. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Commissioner, the governor's budget was released yesterday. What do you, I haven't had a chance to look at it, but can you speak for a moment about how that might affect those members of the audience that aren't, interested in politics, and how its relevance on education and funding, and how even if they're in private schools, the effects are overreaching?
Well, it's a good question, and really it's a philosophical question. And the reason I say that is, I've met with Scott. I didn't vote for him, but I met him. He's a nice guy, but he comes from the business world. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm in business, okay, and Lord knows I make a lot of decisions that are based on the bottom dollar, period, end of story. So he's an interesting politician in that he's 100% business. That's what he knows. That's his model. And so he's coming into government now with this idea that I'm going to run it like I would have run my private company, like I would have run my healthcare company. And there's nothing wrong with business and government kind of molding together and taking some good ideas from business and bringing them into government. My concern is that he's going to run the state of Florida 100% like it's a private company. And government is not in the business to make money. We always talk of government is a loser. Government is a loser. Government is always in the red. It's never in the black. We always spend money. It's nice if we can take in more money than we spend, but we now live in the era that we spend more than we take in, and it seems we're on that path for a long period of time. Yes, we want to cut our spending down, but our spending is more than we take in. Unless we're going to raise taxes significantly, our spending is going to be more than we take in. And so if we stop spending, all these things that we take for granted will disappear. There are hundreds of thousands of jobs that depend on government spending at the state level and at the federal level. So we talk about trying to stimulate the job market and get unemployment down. Well, if you cut all that government spending, all of you, when you're done with high school, when you're done with college and are looking for jobs, there will be less of those, okay? Because there will just be less available jobs. Florida lags behind in so many states, in so many issues, okay? Texting while driving, okay? I mean, I still have not been able to hear an articulate reason other than, freedom, which is, a great blanket reason for everything. Why texting while driving should be legal. Why it should be legal. 11 states, I think now 13 states, have banned texting while driving in some form. Yet, we couldn't get that accomplished in Tallahassee for the last 2 years. It died in Tallahassee. And now, for all intents and purposes, that issue is dead for the next 4 years in Tallahassee. Why is that? That's an issue that can save lives and not cost us any money. But it's a philosophical difference. As far as the governor's budget, I've obviously heard of some of the big items. I haven't read it line by line. Lord knows probably not even our legislators in Tallahassee have read it line by line. The lobbyists have, trust me. It's just a concern when we take all of these public-funded issues, like the governor wants to take the hospitals and turn them over to private companies. Could that be a good idea? It might be. But do we really want to experiment with that? Sometimes the fix is worse than the problem. And once it goes private, it's not going back to public. It'll stay private. There's discussion about really cutting budgets and getting rid of school lunches. Not having any school lunches at any of the schools.